Hello everyone, my name is Gabby, and welcome back to another Dragon Ball Super review. This time we're reviewing episode 10. But before we start, I just wanted to clarify something that I feel like a lot of people have probably been thinking. No one's actually said it out loud yet, but just so you know. So if everyone asks, why is it that my reviews come out really late compared to everyone else's? That is, everyone else on YouTube. And the answer to that is it's because I wait for Dragon Team. That sounds like the kind of thing you'd put on a bumper sticker, but I wait for Dragon Team. For those of you who don't know, Dragon Team are the most reliable group of people doing the fan-made subtitles for the new Dragon Ball Super episodes. I feel like if I'm just waiting for it like raw, or if I'm waiting for the quick fan subs that come out in like 8 hours and probably use Google Translate, I feel like either there's going to be like mistranslations, things going to be inaccurate, or I just won't understand everything in the episode. Dragon Team has pretty much everyone's seal of approval for like the subtitle actually being accurate to what's being said in Japanese. So yeah, the problem is Dragon Team generally takes a few days, and in the last few weeks they've been having a few delays and they haven't been able to get them out until like sort of 5 days or so afterwards. So that's why. But I mean, I don't know if I'm going to... Don't know if maybe next week I might get it out a bit faster, try and break that rule just once, but that's why my reviews come out late. So in this episode, the long-awaited fight between Beerus and Goku as a Super Saiyan God begins. But Goku is having some trouble understanding the limitations of his new godly power. Beerus, still curious as to what the limitations of this power is, hasn't been fighting full out yet. He wants to see if Goku can really provide a challenge. And soon enough, Goku starts to accustom himself to the form, and it's time for the real Battle of Gods to begin. So, what did I like about this episode? Well, I really liked the concept of this. The fact that Goku is having trouble trying to adjust to his new Super Saiyan God form and the new powers and just everything that it provides with it. I mean, too often do we see these power-ups just get handed to people on a silver platter, and you don't have to work hard, you don't have to think about it, you just get a power-up, you get stronger, and that's it. That's a thing that happens a lot in Dragon Ball, and it's pretty bad for trying to make characters relatable if you're basically just handing out power-ups. But in this case, it did feel like, I mean, Super Saiyan God was a power-up that was handed out, right? But the way it was handled in this episode, it almost made the cheapness of it actually made it kind of worth it. Also, I guess we could just say Goku himself was pretty much the highlight of this episode. He was just so Goku. I mean, he was acting like this really, really excited child who's just got a new toy and just wants to play with it and work out everything. That was how Goku was like, and I guess that is almost a flaw of his, in that, Beerus is probably going to, try and destroy the Earth if he loses this battle, so try and take this seriously, stop being so excited about this. But then again, you have the other members of the supporting cast to be serious for him. Also, I really liked the sort of fight choreography in this episode. It honestly felt like it's been 10 episodes, but for the first time, this felt like a really sort of typical Dragon Ball Z era fight. I mean, I guess that's sort of a good and a bad thing, but I think most people think that's generally a good thing. Like, when I was watching that battle, I felt like in that same mindset that I'm generally in when I'm watching like Dragon Ball Z. In that I'm just sort of watching the fight, and sometimes I tune out a little bit, but I'm still sort of interested, and I'm just like, oh, that's a cool shot, that's a cool shot. I don't know. I thought that was pretty cool. As for what I didn't like about this episode, well, there were a lot of random cutaways, sort of, like, Dragon Ball has a habit of, especially, the anime, it has a habit of, when all the big climactic fights are happening, they have a habit of just cutting away to other people doing other things, which I guess it's sort of there to relieve the tension, and because you can't just have, if you're just going to have, pure fighting with no breaks for 22 minutes, I guess that might be a little boring, but I don't know, it's just so the Pilaf gang were in this episode, and they were like, oh, let's go and see if we get more food, and it was a bit weird, and I'm a fan of the Pilaf gang, although I'm not exactly sure what the point of them was to be in that episode. I guess it was just the whole relieving tension thing. It's just a bit strange. What are the Pilaf gang doing in this show? Are they going to be recurring characters? Because I'm not sure. Honestly, their role is kind of reminding me even more of Team Rocket. Like sort of what Team Rocket does in the Pokemon movies. They just sort of show up and just sort of do comedic things while all the important stuff is happening off screen. Also, there's the fact that really, if you think about it, not much happened in this episode. That's what I realized when I was writing my summary. Not much happened in this episode, it was just sort of fighting, but the fighting hadn't even really started for real yet. Which, that can be a bad thing, but I kind of think that was for the best. I mean, Beerus has been hyped up so much that if you had you need to have a multi-part fight. Even if nothing happened in this episode, you need to be fighting for several episodes, otherwise Beerus will just seem like a pushover. It will feel like an anticlimax after how much he's been built up to. You need multiple parts to this episode. So I guess that's sort of a good thing and a bad thing. Good in that you get multiple episodes, and you get more material, and you probably get more fights. Bad in that perhaps the fight could drag on for a bit, and you can have an episode where you realize that you can sort of almost skip it. Like you shouldn't, but you kind of can. So as a result, next episode, we're going to... I guess you could say if this is in a typical sort of 3-act structure, the fight is going to be going into Act 2 now for next episode. And I think it's going to be really exciting because I think they're saving all the really cool shots and all of the interesting choreography. I think they are saving that for episode 11. I think. And also, just looking at the animation team, the person who did the animation did episode 7, also did episode 2, and apparently they're one of the... I don't know, just it seems to be that episode looks like it's going to have a lot of attention in it. So at the end of the day, I really liked Dragon Ball Super episode 10. There wasn't really that much of substance there if you really looked at it, but I think the things that it did do in this episode, it actually did pretty well. And I don't know, so I'm just really looking forward to episode 11 because I think that's where they're saving all the attention for. At least that's my opinion. So this is Gabby signing out, and I'll see you all next week. Bye, guys!